I am a complete idiot. Okay, I'm being serious. I grew up with nothing. No talents, no skills, no leverage, no nothing. Okay, I grew up as a fat, lazy kid that hated school and hated the world. And honestly, I'm surprised that I'm standing in this position that I'm at right now, recording this video for you guys. Now, before I get into it, this whole channel, this whole channel is dedicated towards helping you guys do what I've done, right? Like I said, I grew up with nothing, no skills, no leverage, no talents, no nothing. And I was working dead-end retail jobs up until 1 year ago. But recently I've just hit my first £10,000 month, right? Which is crazy because that is how much I was making in a year at my old retail job. I've just made it in 1 month, right? So the question is, how does someone that grows up with no skills, no leverage, no talent, no nothing, just a complete nobody? And honestly, I was a nobody. I'm not lucky, I'm not smart, nobody handed this to me, nothing, right? So the question is, how do you go from being that kind of person, which I was, to where I am right now, right? And this is exactly what this channel is for. I'm going to show you how to do it and how I did it, and also what this video is for. So please don't take it as me bragging. I know the title is, oh, I made £10,000 in a month, and that's quite a cocky thing to say. Believe me, I don't want to be saying this stuff and sharing this stuff with just everybody, but for me to fully get my point across and for me to fully help people the way I want to and show them exactly how I did it, you're not going to believe me unless I tell you what I've achieved. And also, I'm going to have to show you proof as well. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit personal here, and I'm going to show you my Stripe dashboard and prove to you that I'm being serious. I actually did recently hit my first £10,000 a month, right? And that is the kind of money that you can make with the method that I'm going to show you how to get into. And the best part about this as well, I didn't have to leave my house. In fact, when I got my final payment for the £10,000 month, I was sitting in Spain in a coffee shop with my friend, right? From my laptop and my phone. That is how I've done this, from my laptop and my phone. I can do this from anywhere I want in the world. And the best part about this as well, I didn't have any experience or leverage or any kind of capital to start with, right? And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean and exactly how to do that in this video, so bear with me. But of course, for me to fully get my point across and for you to fully believe that I am who I say I am and I've achieved what I say I have to show you, okay? And I'm going to get a bit personal here, so bear with me, but you guys aren't going to believe me unless I show you, okay? Because there's so much stuff going around about how everyone makes 100 grand a month, 20 grand a month, whatever, but no one can really back it up. So I'm gonna show you that I did actually recently hit my first £10,000 a month. In fact, it's a little bit more than that. So I'm being a little bit humble to put in the title that it's a bit less. So here is my Stripe account, right? K24 Labs, that's my business. That's my business Stripe account. Aidan Kolinsky, obviously that's my name. So obviously that is, it's not a screenshot. This is an actual dashboard. I'm scrolling up and down. And from the 1st of February till the 1st of March, 2025, we did £12,057 in gross volume, and in net volume, £11,733. Okay, so there you go. That's your proof. I don't want to scroll too much because it's going to have like sensitive client email information and stuff, but you can see, like, I don't use Stripe anymore. That's why there's no revenue today. I'll get into that in a second, but yeah, so I've got some money held there, £12,000 in a month, 11,733 in total, volume from net sales. There you go. Hopefully that is enough to show you guys that I am who I say I am. I have done what I say I've done, and I promise you, if you're watching this and you're thinking that I've just got lucky, or any kind of stuff like that, how did I have this before? Yeah, how did I have this before? Yeah, I don't want you guys going around thinking that I'm lucky, or it got handed to me, or I have some kind of secret skill that nobody else has, or anything like that. I promise you, I didn't start with anything, right? I started honestly with a bit of grit and a bit of ambition, which I know is going to be the same case for a lot of you guys. So I found this way to make that kind of money in 1 month, much more than the average wage, right? I'm 21 years old, so I'm making a really good money for my age. I found how to do this from my phone, from a couple of hours a day, from my laptop as well, and I can travel the world and make serious good money like that through a method called appointment setting, okay? So appointment setting, easily, in my opinion, from my experience as well, is, I'd say, the most low risk and easiest method of like the online business realm to get into, especially as a complete beginner. Okay, because you see all of these videos about people saying, oh, start this business, start this business, start this business. You don't need to start a business, right? Appointment setting is essentially an online job. It's a commission-based online job. I promise you, like, just take it from me, you can make that kind of money really easily. Because like I said, I am a born shy introvert. I hate going out into big social groups and stuff. And I've made like well over £10,000 in a single month, right, from this method. So I promise you, if I can do that as a crippling introvert, as someone that couldn't look people in the eyes growing up, if I can do that, you can as well. And I can't wait to show you guys exactly the method to achieving the same results. So hopefully that's enough to show you that I am who I say I am. I have done what I've said I've done. I've showed you the proof. And in the next short clip, I'm going to show you exactly what appointment setting is, how to get into it, and kind of give you a bit of a crash course on how you can get started yourself. So I will see you in the next clip. Okay guys, welcome to the guts of my PC. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you exactly how this framework actually works of being an appointment setter, what to expect, how it works, so you can actually get an idea, especially as a beginner. This is going to be the easiest way for me to break it down for you and show you exactly how easy this is to, 1, make money, 2, get good, and 3, did it replace your job? Okay, and I'll show you how to do that in this short clip now. But I do just want to show again the proof of the fact that I did make obviously my first 10k month the other month. I want to show you now through actually my PC. So this is my account, Aidan Kolinsky. Obviously that's me. This isn't a dodgy screenshot. You can see I'm moving it around. I'm clicking like made from the 1st of February till the 1st of March. We did £12,057. 11,733 in actual, net volume from sales. And I don't actually use Stripe anymore, purely for this reason. Okay, they have locked around £7,000 in my account, because it's just a really common thing with Stripe. They're very meticulous with checking money that comes through, and because obviously this was a big month, they've withheld a lot of it because they want to do checks on it. Okay, so I don't personally use Stripe anymore because of stuff like they do stuff like this, and they do it to so many people. So I'm not going to use Stripe anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, this is proof. This is an old Stripe account that I don't use anymore. Obviously from February this year till March, obviously the same year, £12,000, 11.7k in net volume sales. And as you can see, this is my account, Aidan Kolinsky, K24 Labs. That's my company name, and hopefully that should be enough to convince you that I'm not lying. Okay, so yeah, let's get into the actual framework of how this works. So, as an appointment setter, there's you, and then there's the business owner, right? So the business owner, they are extremely busy. They have a program, typically like a coaching program or an agency or something where to sign a client, they need to speak with the person that the client they're potentially going to sign. They need to speak with them on an appointment first, so they can obviously show them the service they have and then close the deal. So what that means is taking the client on, right? So these business owners are obviously so busy with taking the actual calls, taking the appointments, and then obviously providing the solution and actually doing the service and running the business. They are so busy doing that often they neglect actually getting the appointments in. Okay, for the business to keep surviving, they need consistent appointments on their calendar, because like I said, when they take the calls, they take the appointments, they close the person on the deal, on their service, and they need these calls coming through every single day. Okay, but if they're so busy taking the calls and running the business, they don't have time to get the actual appointments. So what that means is they don't have time to go out and try and convince people to book a call with them, because they're just so busy running the actual business and being in the day-to-day. So that is where you come in. Okay, so business owner needs more appointments on his calendar, but is too busy. And there's you have a lot of spare time. You do, especially if you work a 9 to 5. You've got the whole evening plus the weekends, and you need money, or you have a smartphone. Okay, so this is me, for example. I worked in a retail store. I worked in the evening, so I was very fortunate. So the whole morning, the whole day, basically, I had free, and that's not just like I'd go ham. Okay, but you can even do this in a 9 to 5. You can do it on your lunch break. You can do it in the morning. You can do it in the evenings. Like, that's enough time, and that's a good schedule for you to be able to do this in place of the business owner doing it themselves. Okay, so business owner needs more appointments on his calendar, but is too busy. And then there's you, have a lot of spare time, need money, and you have a smartphone. Okay, you don't need any experience. It's great if you do have sales experience, but you really don't need any. If you are just a complete beginner, don't worry. Like I said, I was too. So this is where you and the business owner partner up. The business owner hires you to take it off of his hands, right? And from there, essentially, you're just going to message and speak to their audience on their behalf. Now, you can do this with their accounts. So sometimes they will give you their Instagram logins, and essentially they'll have, obviously, if they have a big personal brand and they're a big person, they're well known, you'll log into their Instagram and you'll just have leads coming to you, asking questions, all of this stuff, all of these unanswered conversations that you can turn into appointments for the client, right? For the business owner. So you can either do that, like depending on the offer that you're on, you might get an inbound position, which is where you log into their accounts and all the leads come to you, or you might have to do an outbound position, which is a little bit harder, where you have to have your own accounts and you essentially find leads yourself. That's harder, but typically like you'll be paid more for the work you do for that. But don't worry, we'll get into that in later videos. But essentially, yeah, that's how it works. Business owner hires you to take it off their hands. You message and speak to the audience on their behalf, whether that's inbound role or an outbound role. That's how it works. Okay, and from there, when you're speaking to these prospects, they're going to be in the target market of this business owner. So if this business owner has an offer where he helps, let's say he helps coaches and consultants get more clients, right? So his audience and his niche and his market are going to be coaches and consultants that need more clients. You're going to be speaking to them and you're going to basically be diagnosing whether they actually have the pain point of wanting more clients. And if they do, bam, you try and get them onto an appointment, okay? And from there, obviously, you book interested prospects into a meeting with the business owner. So if they're like, yeah, cool, I see what you do is really great, you help me get more clients, I need more clients, I'd love to hear more. That's where you come in, you go, cool, let's book in a chat, we'll run you through it, and we can essentially show you how we can help, okay? It's really that simple. And a lot of the work is done for you, especially in an inbound role. You just speak to the people that already have the problem, articulate how you solve the problem for them, and then to solve the problem, to show them exactly how it works, we need to hop on a call. Okay, and on the call, that's essentially where the business owner is going to be speaking with them. So the business owner is taking the call, they're speaking with the prospect, they're speaking with the person, seeing if they can help, and from there, they try to close the deal if they are a good fit. Okay, so if they're taking the appointment, the lead is good, they need some help, they have the money to invest in the program, then the business owner will then take them on as a client, and they will take a payment. Okay, and from there, as the business owner is taking the call and he's closed the deal, you'll get paid for the appointment being set, right? And you'll get paid for the deal closing as well. Okay, so I'm not going to run you through price ranges in this video because it's quite in depth, but essentially you can get paid like from around, you could get something like $50 to $100 per appointment plus 5% commission on the close, and you can also sometimes get like $1,000 or $2,000 base. Okay, a base salary, a base is basically a base salary where it's basically like in a job where you get £2,000 a month salary. It's kind of like that. It's like a salary plus commission job. That's basically what it is. Okay. So this is really that simple. Business owner, he needs more appointments. You need more money. You've got spare time. He doesn't. He hires you to take it off of his hands. You speak to people and message people on their behalf. You book the interested prospects into a meeting with the business owner. The business owner takes the call. He closes the deal and you get paid for the appointment and you get paid for also the deal closing. Okay, it's really, really, really easy money, especially as a beginner. You don't have to be a genius to do this. And a lot of the time when you join these positions, they will show you how to do it as well. They will train you up. So you don't even need prior experience. They just need someone who's got a bit of grit and a bit of heart and someone with a lot of time on their hands. Not even that much, like 2 to 4 hours per day, just more than the business owner. So here are the benefits of being an appointment setter, especially as a beginner. I'm going to really sell you on the idea here because this is exactly what changed my life, and I'll give you a bit of a story in a minute. But you can be paid per appointment plus commission on the close and sometimes a base salary too. So let's say you're being paid $50 per appointment. You're also being paid 5% commission on the close, right? And you're also getting a $1,000 base. I've been on positions like that. That's easily an extra 5, 6, 7K a month, especially if you get really good. And obviously you will over time. But even as a beginner, let's say you're booking, I don't know, let's say you're booking 20 appointments per month at $50 each, right? That's $1,000 on top of the $1,000 base salary, plus a 5% commission on the close. And let's say 20% of those, what do we say, 20 appointments, let's say 20% or 30% of those deals close, right? You're gonna get 5% commission on whatever that payment is. So honestly, that's easily an extra couple of $1,000s a month, right? The average job in the UK or the average job in the US, I think pays anywhere from like $2,000 to $4,000 or pounds a month, right? Especially like I know in the UK, I think the average wage is like £2,000-3,000 a month. You can easily make this in a week of being on a good appointment setting position. Okay, it's honestly I can't even begin to put into words how lucrative this position is and how easy it is to get into, and how like you really don't have to stand out that much. Okay, so you can spend 2 to 4 hours a day working and make $150 to $300 plus effortlessly. Believe me, I think my top day, so I can give you an idea, and by God, honestly, I hate bragging like this, but I need to share with you my experience so you can actually get an idea. And also, like, I want to sell you on the idea of appointment setting, because it's just really, really beneficial, and I really believe that you can do what I've done with it as well. My top day was, God, with commission and everything, like commission on the close, appointments, I think it was like £900 in one day. And the funny part as well was I was traveling, right? I was traveling. So from the work I did the day before, people had booked in from my message. I was messaging people the day before and in the morning before I went on my flight. And from that work, I can't remember how many appointments it was, but I got several appointments booked. And also a couple of the appointments I booked a couple of days before that, the appointments were taken on that day, and the deal was closed. And honestly, I landed and I'd made like £900. Right? That's how lucrative this position can be. Okay, especially when you get good and you're booking tons and tons and tons of appointments, which I can also show you how to do if you want me to create videos on that. Seriously, this can change your life, right? So not only can you make really good money, right, and have a really good payment structure and work like barely any time at all, you can also work from anywhere in the world. Like I said, I've been on holiday, I think like 8 or 9 times in the past like 12 months. Honestly, like, I haven't found it difficult to be able to travel and to work at the same time, because it's just my phone and my laptop, right? And once you get good at this, once you have experience with appointment setting as well, and you get really good and you can book appointments like that just with the click of your fingers, that's when it gets really, really, really easy, and you can start doing this kind of stuff. Again, if you want to see a video on how I structure that and how I travel and how I work at the same time, make good money, I will make a video on that for you as well. But just let me know, put it in the comment section, okay? So not only that as well, you can network with some extremely successful people. So I've worked with the likes of Charlie Morgan, William Brown, and like I work in that kind of realm. Okay, these are the clients that I've had. I've had like really high-end clients like that have given me the great opportunities, and I've met them in person. Now they're good friends of mine. Like I've had that opportunity to meet them from being in this space. Okay, the people that I used to watch on YouTube before, for example, like before I got into this space, there'd be people that I watched on YouTube that now, because I've gotten into appointment setting, they're actually good friends of mine, right? How crazy is that? Depending on the niche that you get into, but like that whole online space, the whole online realm, it's a completely different world. And honestly, you can meet some incredibly successful people. And if you're working on a position, if you're on an appointment setting position with a business owner who has a high following and is really successful, and you're his right-hand man for appointments, you're doing a really good job, like, and he takes a liking to you and he gets fond of you and you become friends, like how many other doors do you reckon that opens up for you? Okay. Plus, if you do a really good job, he's going to refer you to other people as well, so you can get more clients. You can work on more than one position, which I do. Okay. It's honestly, I get really excited talking about it, because it's incredible, and I can't believe how much it's changed my life. I can't believe I went from working in the supermarket to being friends with millionaires that I've met through this kind of position, right? And making £10,000 in a month. It just blows my brain. Okay. So not only that as well, you can progress extremely far. Okay, appointment setting isn't kind of like a one-time thing where, you know, it's all you can kind of progress to, is the furthest you can get. No, you can go from being an appointment setter to being the person that actually takes the sales call. Okay, so a lot of the time, depending on the offer you're on, when you book the appointment, they will also go to, so either go to the business owner for them to take the call, or it will go to the business owner's team member, who is a sales closer, right, who takes the appointments for him, because obviously he's so busy he can't even take calls. So that's depending on the offer you're on, how big the business that you're working for actually is. So if you're working for a big business that's got a load of appointments, they're all really busy, that has a sales team, when you take the appointments, they will go to a salesperson's calendar. What you can do after you built like a strategy and built really good rapport and experience in appointment setting, not only can you progress, but you can become the person that's taking the sales calls, who get like 10 to 20% commission on the deal. And if you're on a $10,000 like program that you're selling, and you're on like a 10% commission, you're getting $1,000 every sale. Okay, so like you can become a sales closer for a really high offer. Like they can go from 10k plus, and if you're on 10% commission, you're making 10% on like 20, 30, 40, 50k. Like that can change your life, and that comes from experience in appointment setting. Okay, so it's a really good stepping stone into being a sales closer. If your goal is to be a sales closer, a really good place to start is appointment setting, because you gain those kind of skills and you also gain that kind of experience that people want to see. Okay, so you can just go really far, or you can do what I've done and start an appointment setting agency where you have a small team helping you with a wide variety of appointment setting clients. This is what I do. Okay, and that's how I've made my £10,000 in that month, because I've got several clients at once. And yeah, you can just progress really fast. You can there's so many ideas. You can from an appointment setter you can be a sales closer, and then from being a sales closer you can progress to either really high offers, or you can start your own coaching company teaching people how to sell, or you can go from being an appointment setter to starting an appointment setting agency, which I've done, and take that really far. Like, there's so much you can do if you learn how to sell, which appointment setting is sales. If you're building that sales skill, you are never going to be out of demand. Okay, and this is a really good stepping stone, because appointment setting, it really isn't hard to get into. It's low barrier to entry, because as well, they don't necessarily care about your experience, because a lot of the time, to start with, they'll pay you commission on the appointment. Okay, so you will only get paid if you book the appointment, so there's no risk for them. Okay, and it's only messaging people on DMs. It's not that difficult. So it's low risk for them, because they haven't got to put like many risks up front. They haven't got to pay you up front if they don't want to, right? So they can be like, I'm going to pay you per appointment, or I'm going to pay you per close. And then that way, like, you can do all of this work, and if you're bad and you can't book any appointments, they don't have to pay you, right? But obviously that's not going to happen, but it just means there's less risk for them. So they're not really going to have so many strict criteria points to start working with you, because to start working with you, it's free, okay? They only have to pay you if you get the result that they want, right? And the result that they're trying to get isn't hard for you to achieve. Does that make sense? So honestly, like, any kind of beginner can get into this. It's really ridiculously easy, and I'm just so surprised that not many people know about it. So yeah, the final point that I love so much about this is you can now finally quit your crap job, right? Like I did. I remember I was working on the tills at this supermarket, right? And I was booking appointments at the same time. I was on my phone under the till booking appointments, and it got to the point where I was booking so many appointments, I was making triple what my retail job was paying me. Okay, so I was making about £1,000 a month at, I'm not going to say where I was working, I may say it in future videos, so making about £1,000 a month, and it got to the point where I made £3,000 just from appointment setting. So I did 4,000 total, including that job. I was like, yeah, I'm quitting now. And the second I quit, I think within like, in like that 4-month window, I went from making £1,000 a month to £5,000 a month. Like, it's just crazy how far you can get. And I hate being the guy to brag about how much money I make and all of this kind of stuff, but you need to see like the sheer like level you can take this to. Okay, I'm 21 years old. I hit my first 10k month the other month, and this is exactly how you do it. If you have any questions about how this process works, let me know. I can make another video. But this, honestly, this is how any kind of beginner can kind of get into this space. It's really simple. You just find business owners that need the time taken off their hands to book appointments in. You take it off their hands, you establish a good payment structure with them, and you just work your ass off and book appointments onto their calendar. It's really not that hard, trust me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Listen, I'm going to leave a link in the description to book a call with me, because I have created a pretty awesome program teaching you exactly how to do this step by step, okay, especially from being a complete beginner. So if you're a complete beginner, you know nothing about appointment setting, I will teach you everything from A to Z, from learning about it to landing positions, making easily £5,000-6,000 a month, right? Or dollars a month, whatever kind of currency you're in. So if you want to click the link below in the description, book a call with me. I will be fully transparent. The call is designed to get you to buy my program. Okay, I am trying to sell you something. That's exactly what it is. Okay, I'm trying to get you to buy my program because I want to help you out. Okay, so if you want to book a call and see how I can help you out, great, let's do it. Or if not, if you don't want to be sold to, that's fine. But as long as you know that that's my intention, like I don't want to lie to you or anything like that. The call is designed so I can try and sell you my program. All right. So take from that what you will. I will see you soon in the next video. Take care.